the biggest GOAT of them all, the greatest of all time to ever play a sport, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. You know who's working out, who's training and prepping for their golf tournament, getting a golf swing right at Michael Jordan's private golf course.
Story. So it looked like Caitlin Clark has had a private meeting with none other than the GOAT himself, Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Caitlin Clark just had an exclusive round of golf with Michael Jordan, and the basketball world can't stop talking about it. This wasn't a photo op, not a Nike promo, not some public celebrity event. This was a completely private game at Grove 22, MJ's invitation-only club. Once the photos leaked, social media blew up, and suddenly everyone has a take on what this means for Clark's career and her legacy. But before we dive in, I need to know, is teeing off with Michael Jordan the ultimate career flex, or just some off-season networking that people are reading way too much into? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's get the facts straight, because too many people are missing the full picture. Caitlin Clark wasn't at a charity golf tournament where anyone with a check can swing a club. She was at Grove 22, Michael Jordan's private golf haven in Hobe Sound, Florida. This course opened in 2019 after Jordan got tired of playing on public courses, constantly being recognized and slowed down by fans. So he built his own, a full 18-hole championship layout, a 15,000 square foot clubhouse, top-tier practice facilities, and yes, even drones that deliver snacks mid-round, because a normal beverage cart just isn't exclusive enough. Membership handpicked by Jordan himself. No applications, no waiting lists. Only those personally invited get access to this ultra exclusive world.
Recently, she was on a golf course, but not just any golf course. These photos shared by a young lady who was on the golf course with Clark and wrote, "What a moment to get to hang out at the golf course with my favorite basketball player. She's as nice and humble as you can be. Hopefully one day we'll be playing with you." And you see, obviously, Caitlin there on that golf course. And that wasn't the only post about it. There was another account, I'm assuming her father, but he posted about it as well, that Caitlin and had herself a day. Brandon, with the same photo, played Grove, I don't know how it's said, and met the best female hooper in the game. That Grove golf course is Michael Jordan's golf course, which is apparently invite only.
The fact that Caitlin Clark scored an invitation like this at just 23 puts her in the rarefied circle of billionaires, Hall of Famers, and top-tier entertainment figures. This isn't the same as snagging courtside seats or meeting a celebrity at some event. This is being welcomed into someone's private domain, a whole different level of respect and acknowledgement. Michael Jordan doesn't do casual favors. He isn't obligated to meet every rising star or promising athlete. If he personally invited Caitlin to play on his private course, it's a clear sign he recognizes something special in her, something worth his time. And considering how famously selective Jordan is about who he lets into his world, that invitation alone speaks volumes.
Here we have, let's take a look here. We got Caitlin Clark taking a photo here with the kid. And the kid actually got the Caitlin Clark's on, if you notice. Yeah. Got the CC's on. And what's the big deal? What's the big deal, KTV? Shout out to off-season Caitlin Clark source. The location, Michael Jordan's private golf course. GOATs recognize.
Now, let's get to the question everyone's dying to ask. What were they actually talking about? The official line is, they were just playing golf. Technically true, sure. But does anyone really think Michael Jordan invited Caitlin Clark to his private course just to discuss club selection or putting tips? Come on, these two were talking basketball. They had to be. Comparisons between Caitlin and MJ have been circulating since her college days, and they only got louder once she hit the WNBA. From media frenzy and sold-out arenas to record-breaking ratings and the intense, sometimes aggressive play from opponents trying to keep up with her hype. It all mirrors Jordan's journey in a way that's almost uncanny. So the idea that their private conversation was solely about golf and the weather, that's just not believable.
We have Caitlin Clark getting ready to light up the PGA little situation they got going on that she'll be playing in. It's going to be a record-breaking audience, as we know, as always with Caitlin Clark. It is a record.
What makes this even more fascinating is the timing. It happened during the off-season when most players are either grinding in training, traveling, as are focusing on brand deals and media appearances. Caitlin has generally kept a lower profile on social media compared to some of her peers, which made her sudden appearance at Jordan's private club even more shocking once the photos surfaced. She didn't tease it beforehand, nor did she post about it afterward. Someone else shared the pictures, and the internet predictably lost its mind. Reactions ranged from pure excitement to wild speculation about what this could mean for her career and long-term legacy. The venue itself, Grove 22, deserves special attention. It really shows how intentional and exclusive this whole situation was. Jordan worked closely with architects to design a clubhouse inspired by the motion of a golf swing. The entrance features sleek carbon fiber and glass panels. There's a pro shop, multiple lounges, luxury-style men's and women's locker rooms, and a central bar overlooking the course. Every detail reflects Jordan's personal vision. This isn't some generic country club he bought and rebranded. It's a facility he created from scratch, and he invited Caitlin Clark to step inside it. Social media erupted. Many fans saw this as proof that Caitlin has reached an elite level of recognition that goes beyond the WNBA. Others highlighted the parallels between her and Jordan. Both faced intense physical competition and scrutiny while rising to the top. A few observers made the inevitable Nike connection, though technically, Jordan Brand now operates independently, a fact some commenters missed. One photo even showed someone wearing Caitlin's signature shoes, an organic branding moment companies pay millions to stage. The funniest reactions were from people questioning why Caitlin would play golf in the off-season instead of training. That criticism misses the point completely. Jordan himself famously used golf as a mental reset and competitive outlet, even during playoff runs. If he built a private course for that purpose, it's safe to assume he wouldn't fault Caitlin for taking a day to do the same. Beyond that, the mentorship and networking opportunity of spending time with one of the greatest basketball players ever arguably outweighs whatever conditioning she skipped. And here's where it gets really interesting from a business perspective. Michael Jordan isn't just a basketball legend. He's arguably the most successful athlete turned entrepreneur in history. The Jordan brand alone generates billions annually. Add in his Hornets ownership, his investments, and his cultural relevance decades after retiring, and you see a blueprint for building a lasting brand. If Jordan is taking an interest in Caitlin, it signals he sees her potential not just as a basketball star, but as a figure who could achieve massive commercial and cultural impact. The comparisons between Caitlin and Jordan have always been about more than on-court skills or competitiveness. This invitation hints at a bigger picture, the possibility that Caitlin could become a generational athlete whose influence stretches far beyond basketball. It's about more than basketball. It's about cultural influence and the way a player can shift the entire conversation around the game. Michael Jordan didn't just dominate the court, he turned the NBA into a global phenomenon and redefined athletes as brands, not just players. Caitlin Clark is doing something similar for women's basketball, filling arenas, smashing TV ratings, and making the WNBA relevant to casual fans who might never have tuned in before. That parallel isn't lost on Jordan, and it's likely a major reason he opted to meet her privately rather than at a public event where every word would be dissected. What makes this encounter particularly fascinating is what it signals to the rest of the women's basketball world. When the undisputed GOAT of basketball invites you to his private club, it's more than a casual experience. It's a statement. It says you've reached a level where legends want to associate with you, where your influence stretches beyond just your stats or highlight plays. You're not just a great player, you're a figure who matters to basketball culture as a whole. For her peers and competitors, that kind of recognition can spark admiration, motivation, or even a bit of frustration. Few athletes ever get this level of validation from someone like Jordan. The photos themselves told a story. Caitlin looked completely at ease, confident, and genuinely enjoying herself. She wasn't starstruck or trying to impress. She belonged. That natural composure in a high-status, high-pressure environment is something you either have or you don't. Her ability to navigate that space with poise speaks volumes about her maturity and awareness of her place in the basketball world. She's not pretending. She's living at a level most athletes her age haven't reached. And then there's the bigger picture. What does this mean for the future? Is this a one-time meeting meeting, or the start of a real mentorship where Jordan takes an active interest in Caitlyn's development? If it's the latter, it changes everything. Jordan has occasionally advised NBA players, but he's notoriously selective about who earns his attention. If Caitlyn becomes someone he mentors, whether in basketball, business, or managing fame, it's like having a cheat code for navigating the highest levels of athletic celebrity. The potential business impact is massive too. Jordan Brand has partnered with athletes over the years, but opportunities for women's basketball players have been limited compared to the NBA. A close relationship with Jordan could open doors for Caitlyn, from signature shoes to expanded partnerships under the Jordan umbrella, essentially positioning her as the female counterpart to Jordan's legacy. That's huge, both financially and symbolically. Critics might downplay this as just an overhyped golf outing or off-season buzz, but they're missing the bigger picture. Symbolism in sports and celebrity culture matters. Being invited into Michael Jordan's private world sends a clear message. You've arrived. You deserve recognition from the greatest of all time. You're not just a player, you're a cultural figure. And in a league still fighting for mainstream attention and respect, that kind of validation carries real weight. To put it in perspective, think about the relationships other WNBA stars have had with NBA legends. Few have ever reached this level of acknowledgement, and it speaks volumes about where Caitlyn Clark stands, not just on the court, but in the broader landscape of basketball culture. Sure, plenty of male basketball stars publicly support women's basketball or praise individual players, but how many actually invite WNBA stars into their private spaces for one-on-one time? How many offer recognition that signals true peer-level respect rather than just polite support? The answer, very few. This isn't LeBron tweeting about the WNBA Finals or Steph Curry complimenting a player in an interview. This is Michael Jordan personally welcoming someone into his private sanctuary, a level of acknowledgement that carries real weight. What makes it even more striking is how quietly it happened. No PR campaign, no Nike photo shoot, no pre-announced event. This seems like a genuine private interaction that only became public because someone shared photos after the fact. That authenticity makes it far more meaningful than any orchestrated brand moment. It suggests that Jordan wanted to spend time with Caitlyn Clark on a personal level, not because he was obligated or looking for publicity. And when someone of Jordan's stature chooses to spend their limited free time with you, it speaks volumes about how they view your significance. Looking forward, the big question is whether Caitlyn can turn this moment into lasting career growth and legacy. Meeting Michael Jordan is an incredible experience, but it doesn't automatically guarantee future success. She still has to dominate on the court, continue building her brand, and maintain the excellence that earned her this opportunity in the first place. But having Jordan aware of her, potentially invested in her journey, and available to offer guidance or support, that's a priceless advantage. The implications for women's basketball extend beyond Caitlyn herself. If Michael Jordan is paying attention to the WNBA enough to personally reach out to one of its stars, it signals that the league is finally penetrating mainstream basketball consciousness in ways it hasn't before. That benefits every player, not just Caitlyn. Rising tides lift all boats, and Jordan's interest could bring more visibility, investment, and legitimacy to the women's game, creating opportunities and resources for the entire league. So yes, Caitlyn Clark played golf with Michael Jordan at his ultra-exclusive private club, and fans are still unpacking what this means for her legacy and for women's basketball as a whole. If this breakdown gave you something to think about, hit like and subscribe for more, and let us know in the comments. Was this the boldest offseason move any WNBA player has ever made?